Hello guys, I hope you all are doing well today. Most especially with the AFCON ongoing, lots of drama and no dull moment in football. So the AFCON kicked off 2 days ago, and the opening game we saw Morocco, the host nation, defeated Comoros by 2-0. And day 2 of the AFCON ongoing saw Mali versus Zambia played a 1-1 draw. South Africa defeated Angola by 2-1. And the Pharaohs of Egypt, led by Mo Salah, the Egyptian king, came from behind to defeat Zimbabwe by 2-1 and get their campaign to a winning start. So, lots of actions have been going on in the world of football, most especially with the transfer window, the January transfer window, just about 8 days to go. So in this video, I'll bring you some of the latest in the world of football. I'll bring you the latest on Chelsea and Anselmino, Axel Disasi, Alexander Isak, Endrick, and Thiago Silva. So stay tuned as I take you through the latest in the world of football. Okay, check this out. Exclusive. Chelsea have a January recall option for Aaron Anselmino, 20 years Argentine. Option allows to bring the defender back in winter as he hasn't reached the defined minimum minutes due to injury. Borussia Dortmund expect Chelsea not to activate it, but the final decision is with the Blues. Players happy in Dortmund, but the decision is up to Chelsea. The Prem side can terminate the loan. Chelsea rate Anselmino very high and see him as a part of their long-term plans. No chance for Dortmund to sign him in summer as there is no buy option. There is no doubt that Chelsea have actually rated Aaron Anselmino very high, and currently Aaron Anselmino is on loan to Borussia Dortmund. Chelsea is looking to recall Aaron Anselmino back to the club, having not reached the expected minute due to injury. But here's my take on this. Should Chelsea recall Aaron Anselmino back to the club? No. In my opinion, I don't think Chelsea need to recall Aaron Anselmino. Because currently now, if you look at the form of Trev Chalobah and Wesley Fofana, with the current form of those two, which are currently the best pairing Chelsea have in the centre backs, and also Benoit Badiashile, alongside Tosin Adarabioyo, which I might not even just want to mention, and George Achampong. With all of these guys playing and recalling back Aaron Anselmino back to the club, simply means there is no development there for the player. So let's just allow the player to finish up his loan spell at Borussia Dortmund, as the player is currently happy at Dortmund. So I think leaving him at Dortmund till the end of the season might actually facilitate his development. The only thing hindering him not having good time at Borussia Dortmund is injury. Because Borussia Dortmund, for them to have actually said they do not want Chelsea to activate the loan spell, simply means they appreciate what Aaron Anselmino is giving to the club. So I think, in my opinion, I don't think Chelsea need to recall back Aaron Anselmino. What do you think? Should Chelsea recall back Aaron Anselmino back to the club? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's move on. Check this out from Fabrizio Romano. Axel Disasi will leave Chelsea in January with several clubs already on alert about his availability. Despite links with imminent AC Milan move, he has been offered as option, but no talks or concrete negotiations are taking place at this stage. Axel Disasi is one player, is one player in the bomb squad alongside with Ryan Sterling. Ryan Sterling, on the other hand, I don't even know if he's actually turning up for work, but then it is what it is. So several clubs are actually interested in Axel Disasi to actually leave in January. But we'll get to see how this play out, because the January transfer window is just about 8 days to go. So Axel Disasi is expected to leave Chelsea. Check this out from David Houston, The Athletics. Alexander Isak set for period of sideline with suspected leg break from challenge in Liverpool wins at Porto. Liverpool Football Club yet to comment on severity, but scan poised to confirm fears of fractures to left side. Recovery time typically a few months. Liverpool went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to actually get a win against Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1. But then that came with a sad news, as the British record signing talking about Alexander Isak actually broke his ankle, and as the report have it, Isak will be sidelined for a very long time. And here's what Fabrizio Romano went on to say. Liverpool confirmed Alexander Isak is said to be out for several months after he underwent surgery today. Isak suffered a fracture and underwent surgery on Monday on an ankle injury that included a fibular fracture. Hard luck to Alexander Isak, and my heart goes for him, and I actually wish him speedy recovery. But then, this is a big loss to Liverpool. A player that was signed for about 150 million euros, yet to score goals that Liverpool actually expected. There's no doubt Alexander Isak came to Liverpool with a name, prolific goal scorer. There's no doubt about that. But ever since joining Liverpool, Isak has just been a shadow of himself. He has not actually hit the ground running. And lots of questions has been beginning to run through the minds of Liverpool fans. But now, it's a sad one that Alexander Isak will be out on the sideline for several months with ankle injury, having undergone surgery yesterday, Monday. So, Isak's signing, truth be told, this is for a fact, no banter here. Isak's signing, if care is not taken, might just turn out to be the worst transfer signing in football. It might turn out to be the worst. Believe me, I was actually talking with a friend, and a friend told me, Alexander Isak from Newcastle to Liverpool, it is like Eden Hazard from Chelsea to Real Madrid. And that actually got me cracking. No disrespect to the legendary Eden Hazard of Chelsea. For Chelsea, Eden Hazard is a legend. But at Real Madrid, injury actually dealt a blow with Eden Hazard, and it turned out to be a flop. Believe me, Eden Hazard at Real Madrid was a flop. And Alexander Isak signing from Newcastle to Liverpool is just looking towards that direction, as the player has actually lost every confidence since the goals have not just been coming. But we hope to see how this turn out in the near future. And to Alexander Isak, speedy recovery, and I wish you the very best in your healing process. Okay, check this out from Fabrizio Romano. Breaking: Endrick to Olympic Lyon. Here we go. Deal in place after exclusive story revealed 2 months ago. Endrick joined Olympic Lyon on loan from Real Madrid. No buy option clause and 50% of salary cover. The Brazilian will be back in Real in June. The young lad has actually longed for this move since October. He has actually been pushing because he needs regular playing time because of the upcoming World Cup in 2026. He definitely want to be part of Carlo Ancelotti's squad that will be heading for the World Cup in 2026. So he needs more playing time. And the deal is, according to Fabrizio Romano, the deal is done. And Endrick will ply his trade for the next 6 months with Olympic Lyon in France. And I think for the young lad, it's actually a good deal, because Endrick is a very good player, a prolific striker. I mean, at Palmeiras, before joining Real Madrid, we actually saw, we actually knew what this young lad was actually doing. He scored lots of goals. But then, with the presence of Kylian Mbappe, definitely at Real Madrid, game time will be difficult to come by. And so, Endrick has joined Olympic Lyon for the next 6 months on loan. Check this out from Fabrizio Romano. Anselmino expected to move in January with £65 million release clause valid until around day 10. Manchester United and Manchester City both called this week, pushing an indirect talk. Decision up to the player on his future. Fabrizio Romano went on to say, Anselmino to decide his future soon. Manchester United and Manchester City are pushing. Liverpool called in November, no follow-up so far, but Liverpool Football Club can be active this window. Spurs not advancing for Semenyo's £65 million clause expires January 10. So, Antoine Semenyo is one man that might be on the move out of Bournemouth this January, because lots of top clubs in English football are actually coming for Semenyo. Manchester United and Manchester City are actually calling for the FC Bournemouth star. But then, it's up to the player to decide, because the buyout clause in the player's contract expires January 10. £65 million buyout clause expires January 10. And I think no club will want to get Semenyo for £65 million, knowing fully well that his buyback clause will expire January 10. I think they might actually drag the deal until the clause expired, and Semenyo might just be leaving Bournemouth for a fee less than the clause in his contract. So we hope to see how this will be in the future. And report went on to say that Liverpool actually made a call on Semenyo sometime in November, but there was no follow-up. And with the current situation, knowing fully well that Alexander Isak will be out injured for several months, I think Liverpool also might just fall back to try and see how they can get Semenyo to Liverpool. But Manchester United and Manchester City have a very strong interest in the Bournemouth star. We look forward to that, how this will play out in the January transfer. Check this out from Fabrizio Romano. Personally, I call him the Chelsea legend, even though he spent a very few years with Chelsea. Talking about Thiago Silva, one man that actually gave me joy whenever I see him at the centre back of Chelsea. Breaking, Thiago Silva to FC Porto, here we go. The Brazilian defender is back in Europe as planned. Agreement signed on short-term deal for Thiago. New contract back for Faroli and strongly wanted by Andre Villas-Boas. Deal until June 2026 plus option until June 2027. So, Thiago Silva has left Flamengo and is joining Andres Villas-Boas at FC Porto for a short-term deal. The deal will last till June 2026 with an option till June 2027. The 40-year-old is looking for playing time so as to be part of Carlo Ancelotti's squad also that will be at the World Cup in 2026. So Thiago Silva have joined FC Porto on loan till June next year. So we hope to see how this will play out if Thiago Silva, after 6 months, will extend his deal till 2027 with FC Porto. The 40-year-old still have a lot to offer despite his age. Thiago Silva is not looking tired as a defender because his experience can actually go a long way to secure FC Porto winning the Premier Liga this season. Okay, I saw this weird news, and I call it weird news because football these days have actually gone past that. And what is the news? Check this out. Breaking. Paris Saint-Germain are looking to offer Luis Enrique lifetime contract. This will be the first ever agreement of its kind handed to anyone in football history. He also becomes the highest paid manager in the entire world of football. What is Paris Saint-Germain trying to do? Because this is not football. This is not football. Okay, they have the money to spend. They just don't know what to do with the money. Paris Saint-Germain are planning to give Luis Enrique a lifetime contract as Paris Saint-Germain manager. But then, does he really want it? Does he really deserve it? If at all there is any contract as such. Because the report actually said this is the first of its kind in history. When we look at clubs, when we look at longevity in club football with managers, I think in the Premier League, after Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, currently one of the longest serving managers in the Premier League is, if I'm not mistaken, is Pep Guardiola, who has been at Manchester City since 2016. And there is rumor, in fact, the speculation has been everywhere that Pep Guardiola might just be leaving Manchester City this summer. So, what is Paris Saint-Germain planning to do? Because there will definitely be ups and downs when it comes to club football. Will the fans be able to take it if the club is not performing? Because when the club is not performing, definitely the blame goes to the manager. And when you give Luis Enrique a lifetime contract as a club, no doubt, I know Paris Saint-Germain definitely respect Luis Enrique, having given them all the needed last season. They won the Champions League, they won the Super Cup. The only trophy that eluded them last season was the defeat they suffered in the hand of Chelsea in Club World Cup final. Because Paris Saint-Germain won everything in football that needed to be won last season. And as such, their player, talking about Dembele, actually won the Ballon d'Or and also still went on to win the FIFA Best Player. Luis Enrique was crowned the Manager of the Year. No disrespect to Enrique, it's a very good manager. But a lifetime contract, okay, if things is not going well and Paris Saint-Germain decided to let him go, how much will they pay him if he's on a lifetime contract? What will be his pay? And what is the expiring time what will be the expiring time to actually know that Luis Enrique time is up? Because he can't continue coaching beyond the age of, let me just put 75. After 70, he will be looking very weak and can't continue. That is the reality. It's nature. You can't cheat nature. So giving him a lifetime contract, what is the yardstick you will use to actually pay him off when it's time for him to leave? And how do you know how would you know the time for him to actually leave? Because like I said earlier, age is not something that we actually can hold back. It's continuous, it's progressive, so it keeps counting. And definitely, everyone will age with time. So, Paris Saint-Germain should just think twice. But then, the club just definitely, I believe the club definitely know what they are actually doing, and they know what is actually good for the club. So, Luis Enrique, if it's your time to actually cash out big, then this is your time. Enjoy it, because they actually want to make him the highest paid manager in the world of football. That's the latest that is coming from club football. AFCON is ongoing, and today is day 3 in the ongoing African Cup of Nations. And my darling Super Eagle, talking about Nigeria, will be in action today as we take on the Taifas of Tanzania. Day 1 and day 2 is gone. Lots of actions and drama. And one drama that actually happened in day 2 is this. Check this out. The backflip celebration has gone completely wrong. Oh no! This is Dakar talking about the Zambia forward who actually got the equalizer against Mali at the 90th plus 2 minute. When he wanted to go on a backflip celebration, he actually missed his footing and his neck on the ground. The good news there is that he is very okay. Nothing actually happened. So players should be very mindful of the kind of celebration whenever they score goals. We know that the goal was very crucial for the Zambian national team, because it was a late-minute equalizer, having played the game very well against Mali. I mean, kudos to the Zambian goalkeeper that actually kept Zambia in the game, because he actually saved a penalty early in the game when Mali was awarded penalty. But players should be very mindful when it comes to celebration. Backflip. We've actually seen this with 2 Nigerian players that were actually fond of this, talking about Julius Agawa and Martins Obafemi. So, and we actually know what that has actually cost them. Ankle injury and stuff like that. So players should be mindful whenever the score goes and the celebration. The tournament just gets started. If you get yourself injured now, I mean, it's the Zambian national team that will actually suffer it, because they will definitely miss your services. So what do you make of all the latest that have gone down? Chelsea to recall back Anselmino from Borussia Dortmund. Do you think Chelsea should actually do that? Drop your thought down below. Endrick to Olympic Lyon. Here we go for the young Brazilian who is actually looking for playing time. And Thiago Silva, 40 years old defender, left Brazil to join FC Porto so as to get playing time and be part of Carlo Ancelotti's team for the World Cup in 2026. What do you make of all these stories? Drop your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.